Welcome to the Hero's Journey podcast, where we share stories of hope, healing, and resilience. My name is Gianna, and I'm here today with my amazing husband Eric and our Pomeranian Freddie. So if you do hear a little heavy breathing in the background, that's probably him. I'm so excited to be here today to share with you our very first episode. Eric and I have bonded over the hero's journey ever since we met. And the hero's journey is something that I learned about, this concept, through the book Joseph Campbell's Hero's Journey, which was published in 1990. I read it maybe about 10 years ago now, and it has been such a powerful concept in my personal life, on my personal journey, because I definitely feel like I have been on that hero's journey. So just to talk a little bit about the hero's journey, this is not a podcast about Joseph Campbell's book or the concept of the hero's journey. This is using this theory, this concept, for other people to share their stories. So I want to just kind of talk about it a little bit. The hero's journey really shows up in all of our most favorite stories, all of our favorite adventures: The Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Harry Potter. Like I said, all your favorite characters have been on or are based around the hero's journey. And it's this concept where the hero goes on this journey to move them towards this growth that maybe that wouldn't have happened had they not have gone on this journey or been pushed towards this threshold. And so in the book, we go through these 12 steps of the hero's journey, and you can use this concept in your own life. This is what it's all about. Like these movies and everything, they go into these grandiose adventures into Middle Earth, and realistically, it's all just the facets of the life of humans that we live. That's where the concept was born, through our human experiences. So we follow this hero's journey in our ordinary life. And what this podcast is about is telling stories of other people's hero's journeys. In my experience, I first worked behind the chair as a hairdresser for 18 years. And then I was in this life-changing car accident. After that, I went into healing and counseling. And through these years of my life, I have heard so many people's inspiring stories that have touched my life, that have really cracked my heart open and really guided me into the work that I do now, which is healing and counseling. And truly feel so grateful in my life that I have been a witness of so many incredible heroes that have crossed my path. And you may just think of these people as ordinary people, but when you hear their story, there's no such thing as ordinary people. Everybody has a story to tell. You are literally living your own hero's journey right now. You are the hero of your own story. And that's what this podcast is about. I really want to tell those stories, not me. I want to hear your stories from you guys. And this first episode, let's just talk about a little bit the hero's journey. And then I'd love to share my hero's journey with you and look forward to hearing other people's stories throughout this time. So that's what this podcast is about. And I really, I hope the whole intention of this, my hope and Eric's prayers, are that these stories are being told and heard so that you don't feel alone in the world. Because when humans share stories with each other, when we come together and we share each other's stories, we learn that each of us have been through something. It gives us more compassion towards ourselves. It gives us more compassion towards others. It helps us to feel not so alone when you know that maybe I don't have to do this alone, or somebody else has been through this that may be able to guide me or help me or even just listen to me. And that's really all we have been craving as human beings, is the need to just be able to share safely and for our stories to be told and heard with love and compassion so that each of us can take a little bit of something from that story and know that we're not alone out there. And we don't have to do this alone. Our stories are powerful. It's what makes us who we are. And there's no need to hide them anymore. So, this space, this sacred space here, is a storytelling space for that reason. And that's our intention. So, let's move into the hero's journey. I'm just going to go through the main key points. Remember, this is not a podcast about this book. It's a podcast about your stories. So let's go over this format because it's really cool. And while I go over these steps, I want you to feel into your own life, areas of your own lives where this may have this may have happened to you. This may have been your story because, again, this is like the human story. It's the hero's journey. So we start with the first step, which is the ordinary world. And this is where our hero exists before the big life-changing event happens or the present story begins. This is the safe place. This is the home. It's your true nature. This is what anchors the hero as a human. So just like you and me, it makes it easier for us to like identify with them as we go through the story because they're just like us, right? Just an ordinary human living ordinary life. We're comfortable, we're safe in this space. But then the next step is we have a call to adventure. And in this step, the hero now receives a call to action. So this is actually something that may be a direct threat to them, to their family, to their lives. This is going to disrupt the peace of this safe space of the hero, right? They're just happy. And we can, one of my favorite characters that I love to refer to, one of my favorite adventures is the Lord of the Rings. So I may be referring a lot here to the Lord of the Rings. But if you have your own adventure, or again, like I said, your own life adventure, because you are the hero of your story, then you can reflect back on that as well. But you may hear me talk about Frodo quite a lot. So Frodo, he's in the Shire and he's chilling, he's happy. But now Gandalf comes along. Gandalf is in town and, his uncle Bilbo Baggins present this news to him that he now has to leave his safety of the Shire. Things are shaken up. He's got to leave. He has to go on this big adventure now because the family, the Shire, the whole world is in direct threat. And if he doesn't take this call to action, I mean, the world is going to fall apart, literally. And so we get called on this adventure. It's scary. It disrupts everything, and it's going to be a quest to be undertaken. We move to the next step here, which is refusal of the call. The hero may be eager to accept the quest, but at this stage, we have fears, man. Like this comes up in life, right? We're happy, we're just in our comfort zone. Something presents itself to us, and now we have to leave this safe zone, go on this adventure that is unknown, and that is going to be scary, right? That's going to bring up fears for us. That's going to put us in a place of discomfort. We're going to question our self-confidence. Can we even do this? It seems too much. It seems unsafe. So the hero becomes reluctant in this stage. They need support. So which takes us to the next layer of it, which is meeting the mentor. This is a crucial turning point for the hero. They need guidance, right? So we can turn to someone that we love and we trust and we talk to them and they kind of talk us off the ledge. They're like, you know what? You can do this. I believe in you. I know you can do this. And they give you something that is going to help you on this adventure to cross that threshold, to go on this quest with your confidence, with, this information or this confidence that your mentor, the strength, that the courage that your mentor is giving you to move forward. And so we now have this strength. We've got the courage, and we're moving into the next step, which is we finally do it. We finally cross the threshold and we take the call to adventure. And this is when the quest begins. So we're here, we're crossing now the threshold from our ordinary world into this world of the unknown. And again, how many times in your life have you done that? How many times have you been set out to do something where you're like, oh, fuck, this is going to be hard. This is going to be scary. I don't know the unknown. I'm afraid of the unknown, but we're here and we're committed to it. So this is where kind of commitment is made. And we're moving from this ordinary, safe world into a world that we're not familiar with. We're doing something that we've always been scared to do. And here we are making the commitment to this unknown journey. And so here we are. And this can happen even on a daily basis in our lives, right? Just like, I don't know, going for a job interview or starting a new relationship, maybe breaking up from a relationship, right? We move through the threshold. This concept applies to all facets of human life, really, which is why I love it so much. So now we move into the next phase, which is where we're tested, right? These are where we meet our tests, we meet our enemies, obstacles get in the way. It's like we go into this new world and it's never going to be easy, right? So we need some things to overcome. We're confronted with these tests, with these obstacles, maybe even a scary golem that Frodo meets along his way and tests him. He's trying to steer him in a different direction, make him go into these dark caves to kill him essentially because he wants, something that Frodo's got. So we get tested with our golems in this lifetime, and the hero must overcome each of these challenges towards the ultimate goal, which is, succeeding in what he set out to do, to save the world, to save yourself, to protect yourself, to protect the ones you love. But again, in life, it comes with obstacles. We come with tests. We need to overcome these tests, and it's the way that we respond. It's the way that we face them. We usually have support as well. We usually have a support team that comes with us. We build a little team along the way, right? So these tests and these obstacles that we face, these golems that we face, we don't have to face them alone. And this is the piece where, which is really big for me, is that you don't have to hold it alone, right? You don't have to face all the golems by yourself. You can reach out and share your story and have that support. And usually there's, either one or two. You've got your Samwise Gamgee, or you've got, someone that you can really trust that is here to help you with these obstacles along the way. You're not doing it alone. Even if you feel like you're doing it alone, we have someone guiding us, whether it's here on earth or above. Now we move into the next phase, which is because of these obstacles and these fears coming up, these self-doubts, like, I cannot do it. I just cannot make it through. How many times in your life have you felt that, where you're just like, oh my gosh, I want to give up. I literally cannot make it through this ordeal. So what happens is the next step is that we go into the innermost, darkest cave. There's inner conflict here. And, whether it's like actually in the adventure, they actually go into a dark cave, like in The Lord of the Rings, he goes into that dark cave with a massive spider comes out. Hope I'm not ruining this movie for anyone. But anyways, we go into either our dark cave, which is our inner conflict with ourselves, and we have to face it. And this is where it can get dark in the threshold. This is, our doubts and fears. Everything that we have feared from the beginning comes to the surface here. And this is now where honestly, like the audience is kind of on the edge of their seat. They're like, oh my gosh, are they going to make it? Are they going to give up? But this is the part where we really, really find the courage to be able to move through the next phase, which is the ordeal. It's the thing that happens. So this is the part where we go into our dark cave, but we find that courage and we really experience the magnitude of this ordeal that awaits us. So there's so much tension and anticipation in this piece, because we got to find that courage to move through. And again, in your own life's experiences, how many times have we been in that cave as humans where we have just been like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I'm going to get through this day, let alone the rest of my life. So we find it here. This is the piece, because the next piece is the thing. It's the life-changing thing that happens. It's the ordeal. It's the supreme ordeal that tests us. It can be dangerous. It may be a deep inner crisis. It may be actually a physical test where, we go into battle. We're battling with ourselves. We're battling with, our own inner demons. Or maybe we're actually having this test, like if we do relate it to our adventures and our heroes, where they literally are going into battle. And it's like, are they going to really now get through this most difficult thing they've ever had to overcome in their whole entire lives? It's kind of like the rebirth, right? It's like, are you gonna die or keep going? And I mean that like metaphorically as well. But, in our movies and adventures, or even, in real life, this can happen. So this is the thing. This is the life-changing event. And usually they make it. We make it as humans. We get through it. How many times have we been in that threshold where we've just needed to get to the other side of it, and then we do, and we look back and we're like, fuck, that was so challenging. I can't believe I made it through, but on the other side, which is the next step, is the reward. After surviving this quest and rebirthing, emerging from this battle, this inner battle with yourself, or, again, our adventures with the opposition, it makes us an even stronger person. So we come out of this an even stronger person. That just there alone is the reward, is the prize. And I'm going to share my story with you, but I remember when I came out of my accident and realized that I had actually survived, fuck, that was just that alone was enough to keep me going, to realize how beautiful life is. And so that there alone is a gift, but you may receive some really important insight, some greater knowledge from this, a reconciliation with, I don't know, a loved one or a treasure. That will happen in this piece. That's the last leg of this journey. Now we receive this wisdom. We're never going to be the same. This was a life-changing event that now just propels us into this higher being, this higher part of ourselves that now has this wisdom, this understanding. Doesn't mean we're better than anyone else. It just means that you personally conquered this really challenging quest in your life, where you get to stand back now and just reap those benefits of whoa, we did it. We made it. Yes. And so this now is what will propel or facilitate, if you will, the return back to the ordinary world. But remember, we're never going to be the same returning to that ordinary world. We've just been on this freaking quest. Things are going to feel different. So our final stages are the road back. And in this stage, the hero now returns to his home with the reward, with the gifts, with everything that he can now share with all of the people in his ordinary world, back to the Shire. But again, this isn't going to come with an easy thing like, oh, okay, you made it, let's just go home. There's one last battle, and that's the next phase. Okay, so on the way home, we now experience that even higher level of resurrection. There's one final encounter that we move through. It's just like, yes, I finally made it to the end, right? Remember, like, think back to times in your life where you're like, yes. Actually, we went through this yesterday. I was starving. We went through this whole thing yesterday. We had to drive and help someone. Anyway, long story short, I thought we were at the final end. And Eric's smiling here because he knows what I'm talking about. We're at the final end of our quest yesterday, and I was starving. And I thought we were going home. I thought it was our last stop, but no, there was one more stop before I could shovel food into my mouth and be a normal human again. And that's kind of how I felt yesterday. Anyway, I'm like, damn, there's one more resurrective stage I have to go through before I can eat. Anyway, so this is that final piece, right? We're like, okay, I thought I was there, but we just got this one little last hurdle. We're going to get there, and we're going to get over it. And we do. We succeed. We destroy the enemy. We emerge from the battle cleansed and reborn. This is now the resurrection. This is you in your highest form. You're like, just when I thought I couldn't make it any further, look what I did. Look what I conquered. Yes. This is your life story, by the way. And then the final piece, we return. We return home. And I love what they call it here. It's called Return with the Elixir. And this is where you're a changed person. You've grown as a person. You've learned so many things from this quest you've just been on. You faced so many scary things. You went through dangers. You were like potholes. Oh my gosh, like everywhere you turned, there was something. But now you return with the elixir. This is the medicine. This is the medicine that you return home with. It's the celebration of your self-realization that you did it. You frickin' conquered this journey. And now you get to share this elixir, the medicine, the wisdom that you learned from your hero's journey with others. And that is such a gift. So that, my friends, is the hero's journey. Those are the steps. And I don't know how many times I have heard this format, these steps from other people's lives where I'm just amazed, like my jaw, I have to pick it up from the ground sometimes, some of the inspiring stories that I get to hear. And it's all, you are the hero of your journey. You are the hero. You're the main character. How does that feel to know that? How does it feel to know that you are the creator of the story? And yes, some things may happen that are out of our control in life. In fact, almost everything. But what we do have control over, what we do have the means to do is tune into ourselves, do the healing that we need to do, right? Cross that threshold. All of those tests. Go into your innermost, darkest cave. Face that ordeal. And then return back with the medicine. And that's your hero's journey. And so I'm so excited to be here and call forth those who are ready to share their hero's journey with the world. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, and stay tuned for more incredible stories from amazing humans. We appreciate your support so much. Please subscribe, share this podcast with your favorite people, and consider giving us a 5-star review. Thank you so much. We love you.